You know, what does it actually mean to be a good friend? Well, today, we're diving into a powerful piece by John Arthur that gives one simple, profound answer. Just show up. It sounds so easy, right? But as we're about to see, it might just be the most important thing you can do.
Right off the bat, the author, John Arthur, doesn't pull any punches. He hits us with this direct challenge. And it's one of those lines that just makes you stop and think, right? Which one of those am I? This single idea really sets the tone for everything we're going to talk about.
So, to really get why this is so important, we have to start with a story, a really personal one. See, when the author was going through the unimaginable grief of losing his brother, the whole idea of friendship, man, it got put to the ultimate test.
And this is where the story gets really powerful. He makes a point to name two friends, Mr. Felix Stair and Mr. Emmanuel Asankama Yasin, because what they did was just so incredible. Get this, he hadn't even told them what had happened. They didn't wait to be asked. They didn't wait for an invitation. They just showed up, ready to be with him in his pain.
And boom, that right there is the core lesson. I mean, think about it. How many times have we said, hey, let me know if you need anything? But that actually puts the burden back on the person who's already hurting. True friendship, he realized, is proactive. It doesn't ask for permission to care. It just does.
Okay, so this all boils down to one central idea: presence. And the author has this fantastic analogy for it. He calls it the litmus test of friendship. Just like in a science class, right? Your presence or your absence, it reveals the true chemistry of that relationship. Kind of powerful when you think about it that way, isn't it?
So why is presence so much more powerful than promises? Well, promises, they're just words, right? They're about some future point in time. But presence, that's about right now. It's the action. It's the physical proof that someone is with you, sharing your space and your burden. And that is always, always going to mean more than a promise for later. Okay, so this all sounds great, but how do we actually do it? How do we put this into practice? Well, the author gives us this really simple, super memorable framework. It's just 3 key moments to be the friend who shows up in the merry, the messes, and the morning.
All right, let's kick it off with the first one. And luckily, it's a happy one. Showing up in the merry. This is pretty straightforward. It's all about celebrating the good stuff. The wins, big and small. The happy moments.
And yeah, that means showing up for the big things, weddings, new houses, all that. But it also means being there for what might seem like the small stuff, like going to your friend's kid's school play or just raising a glass to a small win at work. That's how you build that shared history of joy.
And when you do this, something really cool happens. There are 2 huge benefits. First, you're gassing up your friend, right? You're encouraging them to keep going, to aim even higher. But, and this is just as important, you're also protecting your own heart. By genuinely celebrating with them, you're killing any seeds of jealousy before they can even sprout. It's a total win-win.
But hey, being a friend isn't always parties and celebrations. It's also about showing up for the second moment. And this one's a lot tougher. It's the messes. This is when your friend messes up or is just really, really struggling. Or maybe they've just gone quiet. Our first instinct when things get messy can be to back away, right? To wait it out. That's the common mistake. But a true friend, they do the exact opposite. They lean in. The author uses this incredible phrase. They show up to cover their nakedness from shame. It's about providing protection, not judgment. Look, sometimes the most profound thing you can do is nothing. Just be there. When your friend is feeling weak or lost or just completely broken, your simple, steady presence can be the anchor that keeps them from drifting away. It can be the spark of hope they need to start recovering. And that brings us to the third and final moment, which is really where this whole story began for the author. It's showing up in times of mourning. This is about stepping into someone's grief with them. And it's so important to remember that mourning isn't just about losing a person. It's about any huge, life-altering loss. Losing a job you loved, that's grief. Watching a business you built from scratch crumble, that is absolutely grief. These are all times when a friend's presence is just essential. Because in those dark moments, when you show up, you're doing more than just providing a little comfort. You are creating a memory that will last a lifetime. You literally become part of their comeback story, a permanent living reminder that when everything fell apart, they weren't alone. There's this biblical quote that just sums this all up so perfectly. It covers the merry, the messes, and the mourning all in one. It's really about meeting people exactly where they are and jumping into the trenches of life with them. The good, the bad, all of it.
So, when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway here? By showing up consistently in these 3 moments, you're not just doing a nice thing now and then. You're actually building who you are. You're building an identity. You become that friend, the one people know they can count on, no matter what. And that makes you unforgettable. And that really leaves us with just one final, really important question. Because, this isn't just theory. It's a challenge. It's a call to action. So I want you to really think about it for a second. In a time of merry, a time of mess, or a time of mourning, who can you show up for this week?